In this episode of The Tripod.
You all right there, Kev? Oh. There he goes.
What episode are we on? Kevin still can't figure out to Zoom.
So we might as well be on episode 500 and it still wouldn't change the thing.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Wow was right. Oh, fuck.
I was saluting Kevin.
I'm hosting.
Yes, Kevin, you're hosting.
Cool.
What episode are we on?
Having a breeze.
Oh, Christ.
58, is it, or 59?
I think it's 58. I'll tell you now in a second. Hang on.
And
Welcome to the tripod.
hello, everyone.
Welcome to The Tripod.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 58 of The Tripod. How are you all getting on? My name is Kevin Hennessy, and today, and as always, or at least most of the time, I'm joined by the two loveliest lads in the land who will introduce themselves in some order.
My name is Kevin Federline.
All right, Kev.
And I'm still the youngest host of this podcast.
Yes, you are.
My name is Nicki Minaj and I am voluptuous.
Can
Yes,
I give
you are.
myself another name then? Just for the crack?
The effect is kind of gone, but yeah, you can if you want.
I'm Brendan. Hi.
Brendan.
Why not? What is the story, laddies? How have you been? It feels like it's been a while since you've had a little pre-podcast catch-up. I know we're actually mid-podcast. It's not really a pre-podcast, but, you know, before the main episode catch-up. It's been a while.
It has been a while, yeah. I think it's just because we've changed from Tuesdays to Thursdays, so, do you know, our release day. So
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's
yeah.
different. I hope you're all having a lovely Thursday.
But
By the way.
Tripod
Yeah,
Thursdays has
Thursday.
a ring to it as well.
It does, and
Yeah,
you can
it
still
does.
say, see you next Thursday. And
Yeah.
you know.
And do you know what? Thursday is a mini Friday. So actually Thursday is like a real feel-good day, I think.
Yeah, essentially. Tuesday is not. Tuesday is Little Monday and nobody likes
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah, all right.
Tuesday is the day when you're still pining over the bad Monday you had. So, yeah. Thursday is a good day to release. Welcome to Thursday.
Okay. Welcome to Thursday, lads. Tripod Thursdays. Let's kick off with Shawnee. Shawnee, how was your week? What's the crack with you? What's going on?
My week is grand, yeah. Didn't do a whole lot. Playing a bit of golf, really. That's kind of...
Oh, lovely.
That's what I'm doing at the moment now. Getting ready for a couple of workshops next week.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't touched the camera in God knows how long.
Really?
I don't think I'd say I haven't touched the camera in over 2.5 weeks.
Christ.
Yeah.
Are you any good at golf?
No desire. I'm decent. Yeah, I can play. I'd be respectable around the golf course.
Okay.
Be respectable around the golf course.
Did you play any today or anything?
Yes, I did.
How'd you get on?
I'm having serious deja vu here.
I played horrendous today. I had my worst day on the golf course ever, probably, in a long, long time, since I was a juvenile.
Really? I'm sure you took it like a champ, though, and just kind of...
Didn't break any clubs or anything.
That was a very old golf club that
It disintegrated.
when the head of the golf club slightly met the ground at a minimal force, the head broke at the shaft. And but it was I've had that driver since I was 12 years of age, and I'm after getting another one, so I'm not pining over it. These things happen, and it was on the 17th tee after a horrendous round of golf around it.
Really?
Can we move on, please?
Yeah, okay. Row, what do you know?
I know lots and lots of things.
It's
but
true.
You'll need to be really specific because otherwise I could talk for hours about like how to pot a plant or something. So
Okay.
or wire a plug or a myriad of things. In fact.
Oh, fancy.
Myriad.
That's a great word.
That's a great word.
Okay, so how was your week? Did you do anything photography related?
I did, but now I've been waiting for this moment for so long.
Oh.
I want you to tell me first what you did this week.
So, I had a decent old week. I got a new camera,
Yeah.
first and foremost. And I photographed a wedding.
I photographed 3 weddings
Oh,
this weekend.
This week.
Take that,
No
Kev.
way.
all right, Ronan.
3 weddings.
Cheers,
Did
mate.
you, yeah? Wow.
You did.
Impressive.
Sorry, Kev. I just had to steal your thunder.
It's all right. It's okay. Is this in relation to Clooney Hill Park photos comment on my Instagram post yesterday?
I enjoyed that comment. I think
Yes.
I responded quite
You did.
respectfully.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at us, 2 wedding photographers and Kevin Federline. It's a great
Yeah.
crack. So I shot a wedding.
I shot 3.
Yes, you did. Fantastically, no doubt.
I
Yeah,
saw
it
the
was,
photos.
Tell us about
I
yours,
saw
Kev.
some of the
Yeah.
stuff you put in the group there looked really, really nice. Sorry I didn't respond to it, but
that's
I saw
okay.
it
You've
and
been
I
very busy
appreciate it.
playing golf and all that crack.
I've just been in horrendous form, really. I don't want to talk to anyone. To call a
Nice.
spade a spade. Yeah, I've been not on my phone at all this week. So.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's allowed. I
Thank you.
couldn't do it myself, but that's allowed. Photographing the wedding, it was amazing. Ian and Ruth, I know you're massive fans of the podcast. But they're not at all.
Are they?
No, not at all. But it was gorgeous from start to finish. I mean, just really easy to work with. Followed direction really well. But we're also, Ruth kind of really just knew what she wanted more so than Ian, because let's face it, that's generally the case at a wedding. Like she really knew what she wanted. So it was just like, she's like, right, let's get the group shots done now. And she was like, right, mother, father, so I put them together and organized, but she just knew what order she wanted them taken and stuff. It was brilliant, but from start to finish, really well. And even like editing the photos now, like I'm actually really enjoying it because I know how good the wedding was, and I absolutely nailed it. I'm
Class.
very
your
happy with it.
Your edits are delicious as well. I like the colours and the tones through them.
Thanks,
And
friend.
it has to be said, kid done good. I know you said you smashed it, and I know you tweeted that you smashed it, but self-praise is no praise. So allow
I know.
us to praise you.
Thank you.
You did good. The
you know what,
shirts
Kev?
are delicious.
I've a lot of respect for someone who can pat themselves in the back and say, "Yeah, I done good."
Yeah, like I normally wouldn't, but like it's just I was buzzing, because when you look
Yeah.
back at them, I'm like, because
You're
obviously
proud of yourself, yeah.
I am. Yeah, but like when you're shooting a wedding, like Ronan's you probably don't get as nervous as non-wedding photographers. I'm sure you still get a bit of nerves.
Oh, you
'cause
still get
obviously-
nerves,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course. But like the day before, I swear I checked my camera bag twice the night before and once the next morning. Like literally just making sure I had absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And I even had I had too much stuff that's out, stuff I didn't even use, like cables.
Did you use the Z50?
Used the Z50, the D7200. I had them both both on the go.
How are you finding the mirrorless?
Oh man, like it's a dream. It's
Yeah.
lovely. The EVF and all. It's mad, isn't it?
The
Because
Z50 is
obviously
a nice little
I heard you
camera, yeah.
speaking about it before, but I'd never really seen it in action. Like as you're changing the settings, like it just changes in front of you. It's like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
class.
Ronan's getting emotional.
They grow up so fast.
But it's a treat to use. It really is. But I did find myself still going back to the D7200 a lot, like with the 50mm. It was just, kind of what
I know
what
why
I was
that
used to.
is. I figured that out because I do the same. I find myself shooting the D750 a lot, but it's because you have like your workhorse of a lens. Your general lens is on your good body.
Yeah.
So for me, I have the 24-70 on the Z6 and the 70-200s on the D750. So I want to get artsy fartsy with the 70-200.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
reaching for the D750, which you kind of do a lot on a wedding.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's an insurance policy.
Yeah. But
Almost.
yeah, all in all, it was fantastic, and really enjoyed the day, and I'm really enjoying the edit, which is great. It's nice to have something to actually because the last while I've just been editing like old photos or just editing photos for the sake of like Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's nice to actually have like not a deadline, so to speak, but like a task, an actual reason to be doing it. And it's great. And now with a little bit of my Photoshop knowledge that I've acquired over the last little while, I mean, I'm taking out hand sanitizing stations and lads,
Once again, Ronan is very, very emotional.
know.
I'm so proud of you.
thank you, Ronan. Thank you so much. And thank you, Sean. Right.
No problem.
should we get into this episode?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's not talk about my week. That's
Oh,
fine.
sorry,
Just talk
Ronan.
about you,
No,
Kevin.
I apologize because the order. Please do tell us about your 3 weddings.
I shot 3 weddings.
How
and
did they
were
go?
Deadly.
Yes. Were they in any lovely counties?
Dublin, Limerick, and where was the last one? Trim.
Ooh.
Trim Castle.
Was it in
Um,
Knightsbrook?
No, Trim Castle.
Ooh,
Trim
nice.
Castle Hotel. But yeah, Lorraine and Ray were on Friday, and Ray is my spirit animal. He's like 6'2", and he's just a gigantic, lovable man.
You're a
Who-
gigantic, lovable man.
Thank you. But he had like Liverpool cufflinks and all, and I was like doing the group shots, being like, "Say up the toffees," and it was just great banter.
Deadly.
Then I had Andrea and John in Limerick on the Saturday, and that was just lovely, small, intimate affair. Everything was good crack. The pictures were lovely. The day flowed nicely. And then we had Mary and Barry on Monday, randomly enough, which was a smaller, more intimate gathering. They got the weather when the weather had been forecast to be diabolical. Sun was splitting the
Class.
stones. We had the lovely backdrop of Trim Castle through the window as the ceremony was going on.
Ah, yes.
Nice. 3 beautiful little girls, and they were good as gold, and they were so good in front of the camera, and it was just amazing.
Class.
So
Happy
that's like,
days.
I think my total of weddings for this year now is up to nearly 10, 9. Am I nearly
You
at double
are
figures?
someone slow this man down.
But it's more
That's
than
class,
last
man.
year.
Yeah, no, and you know what?
More than last year.
Delighted, absolutely delighted. So obviously, I was looking back over your website, Ronan, yesterday when I was doing the edits, just to try and steal some of your a little flavor of Ronan HD. And I must say, I know, like, we like to give each other stick, but you are genuinely a fantastic
Don't do it.
wedding photographer.
Don't
Like,
do it.
so good, so good.
Yeah.
And I know, I'm sorry, you don't. It's very hard to hear.
I can't
I-
hear you,
I
and I've just
don't care.
accidentally discovered a new use for a man bun. Trying to take my head.
Anyway,
off.
Ronan, put them back on. Right. So there you go. Everybody, strap yourselves in. This could get bumpy. Today on the tripod, there's only one way to really say it, isn't it? We're going to go on a bit of an Instagram bash. But
Yeah.
a constructive Instagram bash. It's not just throwing toys out of the pram. It's we're going to delve into, how it's changed people as photographers, how it's changed people as people to an extent, and, basically just some things that need to be said about Instagram as a platform in total. So I suppose, like, where do we
Kev.
start? Yes.
Would you be able to not go onto Instagram for a whole week?
No, I don't think so. Although I'm definitely using it a lot less
Yeah.
these days. I was one of those people who got roped into the playing along with the algorithm, posting every single day without fail at a certain time with certain hashtags, tagging certain accounts, like literally doing all of the things that you're told to do to grow on Instagram, commenting on people's posts, liking, like everything. And I just got bored of it. I really got bored of it. Like, it was tiring. And it's grand now that I don't do that, because it was just a pain in the hole, basically. Like, it was so hard to keep up with,
Mm.
And yeah, it's like, I don't think it's the same platform that it was even a year ago. Like, they changed all their changes they bring in, their cat, and yeah, I don't know. Like,
Do you know what, right?
Yes.
This is funny, right? Because we've talked about Instagram before on this podcast, and I was kind of thinking, God, are we the only ones that actually talk about this, about like all this stuff, about likes and followers and all that? But we're not. Like, when the brief spell there I had in Clubhouse that time, any room I went into and they were talking about photography, Instagram was always brought up.
Of course.
And these issues were always brought up. I literally watched, so your man, who's the art of photography? What's his name again? what's his name? The Art of Photography. You know the guy I'm on about. He has a YouTube channel. Anyway, he has
Sun Tzu or Sun Tse.
He had an interesting video about Instagram as well. So we're not the only ones to be talking about it. But I actually
Ted Forbes.
Ted, yes, him. Thank you.
Just came to me.
You just Google it.
I did.
Well done, actually. You learned how to use Google there
earlier.
Yeah.
Stop
it.
it.
Well done.
Thanks, lads.
So, like, I actually think it's at the stage now where there are photographers who would not be able to, not that they wouldn't have the ability to continue doing photography, but they probably wouldn't do it without Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like become part of their workflow.
100%.
Like to the extent that some of them probably can't go out shooting without putting up a story of what they're shooting.
Yeah. There are people who are Instagram photographers, and like that's what they are. Like they're photographers for Instagram and only for Instagram.
And by the way, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that.
No,
I'm just
not at all.
talking like this is what I'm saying, like just my observations. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if I think of the wedding
that's a negative
that I
if
did
they're
at the
addicted to it.
Oh, sorry, Sean. I thought you.
No, all right. It's just if they're addicted to it, it can be an issue. But if you're trying to run a business, then that's a different. I think we'll kind of park the business side for this episode, will we? This is purely just kind of hobbyist photographers.
Well, we can go hell for leather on everyone if you want. Like this is now how it's barred.
This is where I think it's.
This is not sponsored by anybody.
Carry on.
Instagram is a very old app. Like it wasn't always the purple and whatever color thing it is now that Facebook owns. Instagram was originally like 1x1 photos only.
Yeah.
And in essence, those people that chase the comments and the algorithm and the reels and basically content creators, hobbyist photographers who just get into photography, I think they're born of the old Instagram. Because the old Instagram was kind of this vintage retro camera app where you could share things and people could like and follow you.
Yep.
And when Facebook took over, the 5:4 crop was invented. Basically, like you had to go to all the hottest locations as a landscape photographer to take that photo, that postcard, and have that on your feed a certain way, looking a certain way, no filters. Like, it's all born out of the changes to Instagram the whole way along. So as Sean says, like, I don't think these people would be photographers without Instagram. That goes without saying, because if Instagram was never there, a lot of people would have never picked up a camera to begin with. Yeah. I think the influence Instagram has had on photography is phenomenal. If you look at my own feed, I'd say 99.9% of the time post a 5:4 vertical crop.
Same.
And that's because it takes up the most screen real estate and people will be looking at more of your photo. But behind the scenes, I became aware that I was constantly shooting these vertical shots. So I started to shoot panoramas and crop my 5:4 vertical out of that, knowing that on Instagram that'll do well. It gets more screen estate. Or screen real estate. Screen estate.
Class.
Coining that. T-shirt's coming out next week. But if you're constantly shooting like that, what happens now when, I don't know, Instagram dies and a new platform comes along, like Polywork, that does vertical images, and all of a sudden you've no screen real estate for all of your portfolio on this new platform, which could take off and be huge. So what do? You need, like, I fell into the trap, so I can say it quite openly and candidly. Like 90% of my landscapes the last couple of years have been vertical. Whereas I love shooting a wide vista. I love panoramas. And I hadn't been shooting them because I was solely shooting for Instagram.
Yep.
And I think that's where most of, like, now that's just one example, but there's a myriad of things that Instagram has influenced. I've used that word too many times today now.
Yeah.
Where's my notebook? The Instagram is detrimental to photography. I'll say it. There we go. I think it's bred a culture. It's bred a culture of dopamine junkies who want the likes and the followers, and they follow the reels, the 5:4 crop, basically every change that's hot. There's people making literally hundreds of thousands on YouTube videos telling you people like Kevin to comment, post every day, blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? These people are getting views on the internet.
Yeah.
When you boil it all down, if none of this existed, would anyone own a camera? I know I would, because I enjoy photography.
Yeah, I would also. I had mine before Instagram.
But how many people,
after?
how many users would Instagram have if none of this existed?
Nowhere.
If none of this was real.
Nowhere near as many. And like the thing is, like remember when I said it, when I stopped kind of playing the game, like a little while ago. If you look back over my feed, you'll notice that I've been posting like vertical shots, and I've been horizontal shots, and I've been posting like full on 9:16 or 16:9 or whatever. You know, like literally, like
That's
everything.
the cardinal sin of Instagram.
Yeah. Like no rules are applied anymore. Just like whatever I want to post up there, I post up. And like when you're not thinking about it, not worrying about it, and stressing about these things, it's grand. You know what I mean? It's an okay place. It's still poisonous at times and not great, but it's very freeing. I recommend everyone just photograph what you want and post. Oh, here's Peter. He hasn't been here in a while. And post what you want.
Yeah, because it's refreshing when you break free from that. Like I've completely and utterly broken free from it. I still post a 5:4 vertical shot for the screen real estate, but I also have the pano version. Like, so I'm happy. But when you break free from it and you're using it, for me, I use it from a business point of view and stuff like that. When you're free of the hold of the algorithm and the growth and the appeasing things, I find you actually end up growing more.
Yeah.
That, like you get more interaction. You're not battling against anything, and it works. Like, and you enjoy it more because you're not a slave to an algorithm. Yeah.
And like realistically, like how much more, especially with the size of smartphones these days, how much more real estate do you get from your 5:4 crop? I mean, like I know it looks a little bit bigger, but like people are still going to see your photo. If they're going to see it, they're going to see it anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and if the photo is good, it's going to catch the eye no matter what crop you use. So
yeah. I only found out about this 5:4 crop like last year. Like I didn't even people were on about 5:4 and I was like, what's wrong with 5:4 crop? Like, do you know what I mean? Like I just when I was the custom cropping my photographs, and I was just like, actually, they look fine. Like they fit. Like you just press a little arrow at the bottom left to make it fit to the image. Like, so I was like, what's this? What is this 5:4? But yeah, it's a funny one, right? Because like I haven't picked up a camera in about 2.5 weeks, and I'm perfectly okay with that. Do you know what I mean? Like I've no issue. Like I could go another month and it wouldn't bother me to haven't picked up the camera because I'm just not feeling it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just not feeling creative or original, and I'm not going to create anything that I've already created. And I'm purposely not spending time on Instagram. Like I think I barely checked Instagram this week, maybe 3 times this week, or my phone in general, because I don't want my motivation to come from Instagram. Yeah, it has to come from me, like internally, like. Do you know what I mean?
Like there's no real harm in Instagram motivating people as well. You know, as long as it's for, you know, somewhat okay reasons. I mean, look, let's face it. If Instagram is motivating you, it's clearly going to be for the post. Therefore, it's going to be for the likes, whether you admit it or not.
Yeah,
like that. You know that's going to happen.
That's what I'm talking about. So I'll probably create a distinction there. So what I mean by motivating me is that I'm not going and saying, I haven't posted an image in 6 days. I have to go out and get something. That's what I'm on about. I'm not on about taking inspiration is a different story. That's okay. You know, there's no problem going on and saying, do you know what? Fair play. They're getting out. They're getting after it. Maybe I should do that too. Yeah, that's cool. Like, you know, someone that's nice. Like, I'm on about the other side of it. Like,
yeah, exactly. But like, I think like the inspiration, like, you know, when you're out and about, Sean, and recently you've been doing your kind of in-depth stories.
Yeah.
Or well, let's say over the last month or so, like that, they're quite inspiring. I'd imagine they're inspiring for a lot of people as well. Just, you know, because when you see someone out, it just automatically makes you want to get out. You know, you're kind of going, man, like look how peaceful and happy he looks, and like, or look at his face getting clattered with wind. Like that looks beautiful. You know what I mean? But like, it's more so the inspiration I'm thinking of. Like, you know, if someone, like, remember when I first saw the Anne's Lane shot in Dublin, like I had to go get that shot. Even like the other day I posted the Cove Churches shot
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a shot. Like, there was nothing original about that photo. Nothing at all. Like, zero. But I had to do it because I was in Cove, and I walked up the hill and hopped over the wall, or looked over the wall, and that was purely for Instagram. There was no other reason for that. That was 100% done for the sake of Instagram. I'm really trying to ignore the cat here.
I can't ignore him. He's just like scratches his head off the microphone.
If anyone's watching this on YouTube, you'll see Peter.
Can he like meow into the microphone? That would be brilliant.
Peter, give us a meow, will you? No, he doesn't really talk. Hello. Oh, he's a good boy.
Can I ask you a question, Kev?
Is it about Peter?
It's about Cove.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Did you go and photograph anywhere else in Cove, or did you even look at anywhere else to photograph?
Literally didn't even look. I had lunch. Do you know what? When I came around the corner from the wall and I saw the houses, like when I was close to the colourful houses, got a couple of little snapshots around there, like, but just more so just for myself, just to because they looked nice. You know what I mean? No, literally, like, honestly, it was entirely for that one shot for Instagram, and I'm not even going to admit. I'm not even ashamed to admit it like that.
See, that's a whole other issue.
Yeah.
How many locations is there out there that have become, like Sean said it before about composition? We think of composition as a location now. And that's because of Instagram. Like, the composition is the location, as opposed to going to a location, exploring it and finding a composition.
Yeah.
Like, when I went down to Cove on the Tourism Ireland takeover, I strolled around for about an hour looking for other compositions, and I snapped a few. Now, none of them I'm happy with, but I enjoyed more so looking around for other compositions, and like the Navy boats and all that were in the background, so I was trying to get them in instead of having to go up and stand at a wall and take a picture that's been taken 100 times. There was no appeal in that for me, like, and that Instagram has bred this generation of photographers who rush to Glendalough, Cove, the Beara Bowl, like Dunquin. Yeah, Dunquin. It's right, the road going down. I saw Jarrow had a different angle of that the other day, and I was like, that's refreshing. And then I think it was Sinead posted up an angle of on Farm Arab with a drone. Spectacular, like an unseen view of on Farm Arab, and it was a beautiful photograph. And as opposed to the postcard standard you see all the time, I'll double tap that, sure, yeah, because they went and made the effort. Like, it's
that is the flip side of that. When you see a new angle of one of these old places, it's really refreshing, isn't it? It's like, Peter,
big time, yeah.
Come on.
Does it kind of come down to, you see, you could like there's, and this is what the listener has to keep in mind. Like, this is just us kind of playing devil's advocate here. Like, Kevin's frantically trying to hunt a cat away from his microphone. Like, in that sense, right, you've got the people who want to be creative and original, and then you have the people who maybe just want to get out with the camera and take a photograph, and they don't really care that they're taking an image that's been taken 100 times. Like, do you know, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Do you know? I think what we are kind of saying is that, is Instagram killing creativity a small bit? Or is it, does it preempt ideas? Like, do you know, should you then shoot that? Like, 'cause a lot of people want the iconic image. Do you know what I mean? And there's no, look, like, everyone coming on my sunrise workshop to Connemara, they're going to want a shot of Pine Island and Derry Clear, hopefully in some fog. Because that's the, do you know what I mean?
That's the shot from there.
Yeah, I take it for granted now because I just, like, it's I see it so much, but technically there's nothing wrong with that. Do you know what I mean? It's how you take that and how you advance it in your photography. Like, do you know, probably the issue rises when someone doesn't go to the effort and they just literally say, I want to shoot that, where is that? Take me there, and they shoot it, and that's just for Instagram. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's double-edged sword.
100% it is, because, like, I think, you know, I think you're right in saying it is kind of hampering creativity to an extent for certain people, but I think it also pushes other people on to be more creative. Like, look at Brian O'Donnell, like, you know, explore, create, capture. He just never stops, you know, and literally, like anything I see him post, it's refreshing and it's new and it's, you know, and it's him. And he's someone who's grabbed Instagram by the bullhorns, and you
Good.
know, has.
Thought you were going to say balls.
Oh, I was, but I changed my mind. You know, so he's someone who's kind of used taken the motivation from Instagram and used that to express his own creativity, and that's a beautiful thing, you know, like that. So it does have its benefits. Like, there's no we don't hate Instagram. If we did, we'd still be on it, let's face it. But like, we don't hate it. Just wish it wasn't the way it was at times.
See, I'm very open about it. I'm only on Instagram because I make money out of Instagram.
Yes.
If I didn't make money out of Instagram, I wouldn't be on it. And like when I started out, I used to go to the postcard locations and take that shot that you had to do. And yeah, that's grand. But what Instagram has influenced in photography, like we're talking about Instagram influencing photography. And I think Instagram has built an entire generation of editors.
Absolutely.
Because the photography has been done. The composition has been found. They just have to go and shoot it. And then they get their raw file, they bring it back, they throw a preset or a quirky, trendy look on it and fire it up. They get 10,000 plus followers and get a sponsorship deal with some brand. And at the end of the day, now I'm not saying that everyone is like this, but there definitely is worldwide, not just in Ireland. There's people out there who, if you were to put them on the spot and say, photograph this, they wouldn't have the technical ability to set the camera up. Like
I agree.
And it sounds horrible. Like everyone can go through the processes and copy a composition and learn from it and all. That's what happens. We appreciate that. But there's literally people out there stealing a living, and that has been created by Instagram. And then on the flip side, there's passionate, enthusiastic photographers trying to learn how to use the camera, attending workshops, doing everything right. Maybe their dream one day is to be a professional photographer, and they'll never achieve that because it's been stolen by, to be fair, people who aren't naturally gifted or talented as photographers, but know their way around Photoshop and Lightroom, which is also more accessible now. Do you know? Yes.
They're not as passionate. They're not as, because like, let's face it, you know, anyone can take a photograph. I mean, you know, even these days, you know, with smartphones, like, you know, you don't need a DSLR or a mirrorless camera to take an Instagram worthy photo. I mean, Insta worthy. I mean, how many words have been bred from the planet? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people literally say, "Oh, is that Insta worthy? Is that you know? Are you Insta famous?" Like, there's actually words because of an app.
Yeah.
Like Facebook never had that. You know what I mean? Like,
it does now.
True.
I know it. Yeah, I know. But like, it's mad. But like, there's people who, as you say, are like, they're hardworking. They actually put a lot of time and effort into learning the craft of photography, learning the, you know, how to take a photo, and do it for like the passion and the love of it. And then you've other people who, and look, it's grand if that's what they want to do, but just do it just for Instagram, just to grow, you know, like to get followers and likes, whatever. And look, each to their own, but
it's unavoidable. The feeling you get when you get a follower or a like or a comment, it's unavoidable in terms of, it's a very good feeling. It's a natural endorphin hit, and apparently it's equated to the same endorphin hit that you get when you take drugs. And so that's why it's addictive. So, and that is biologically in us. So you cannot stop that.
Oh yeah.
What you can stop, so as in like, that's not within your control. That's a natural bodily function. What is within your control is how you respond to that or how you manage that. For me, right, I would go as far as saying I would not mind in the morning if my Instagram was gone.
Deleted.
Just like, I wouldn't, it wouldn't bother me.
Like, goes against
It wouldn't
community
bother me.
guidelines, banned for nudes type of thing, or so we can organise that if you want.
No, Kevin.
No.
Because the connections that I have made through Instagram is what will last, and that's the big thing. That's the plus. The friendships I've made, the connections I've made, these podcasts, everything, people I've met in workshops, like that's the non-materialistic thing.
Yeah.
And that's always what's going to last. Whereas if I lost the followers in the morning or whatever and the page was gone, it's grand. Like, so I still have a website where I can just play my work if I want. Like, I wouldn't be losing sleep over it.
I wouldn't be too happy about it, to be honest, if I lost mine. Like, but it's for the same reasons that you kind of mentioned. You know what I mean? Like, it's the people that, like, it's that big bank community of people that I've kind of built up there. And like for me as well, Instagram is really, really good for my networking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think without Instagram, I would struggle a lot with that. Like, put it this way: for yesterday, for example, when that Gavin James gig was announced, the guy reached out to one of the lads in MCD who I'm Insta friends with, and he was able to give me an email address for the person who's looking after this particular gig in MCD. You know, but I didn't have Guy's number. I have him on Instagram. So like for that kind of thing, like, I could have found him on Facebook and added him and sent him a message that way and all that crack. But like it's the pool of people I have there. And even like I messaged Wild Youth. I was like, here lads, any chance? And they were like, yeah, look, we'll see. Because they normally book Ray or Nicholas, who was on a mini pod with us before. But I was like, look, if they're not around, I know Nicholas is moving to London soon. I was like, if they're not around, you know, give us a shout, because I'm doing this gig one way or another. I don't care how I get there. Get there if I can. Yeah, I'll be there. But like without Instagram, I suppose I wouldn't have that. Like, I mean, I think Instagram makes celebrities a lot more accessible to people as well, which is kind of cool.
Only to you though. You've some mad way of just getting a response. Like,
yeah. It's
I agree with you though. I would agree with you. Yeah, it is. From a business side of things, it works. Of course it does. I probably wouldn't have sold any workshops if I didn't have an Instagram page. I wouldn't have actually. Not probably. I wouldn't have sold any workshops if I didn't have an Instagram page.
Just standing around Connemara like a madman. Anyone want to come on a workshop with me? I'll teach you how to.
Literally, like, at Man Cross, like flagging cars down, like, you know, getting the car there.
Yeah, like it does have its benefits.
I wouldn't have like
class. You should try that for your next one, Sean. Just see how you get on. You should document that.
Like, lock me up.
Yeah,
I'd lose my teaching registration when you stop. So yeah, like it's as I say, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Do you know
it is.
From a business side of things, it works. Like, it does work. Do you know? It's just how you manage it. Do you know what I mean? It's just how you manage it. Like, do not get addicted. Like, I rarely actually go onto my feed and scroll through Instagram.
Really?
Because I just think we're turned into these mindless zombies. Just scrolling.
Absolutely.
Not using our brains. Just scrolling. I don't know. It really worries me or something. I don't know. I can't explain it.
Yeah. Like, I don't scroll anywhere near as much as I used to. I was addicted to Instagram at one stage. I think it was like, you know, back in the...
So was I.
Yeah, like back in the KH Factor days and all. Like, but obviously I was doing stuff as well. It wasn't just like on it for being on it. Like, I was posting stuff together and all that crack. But a lot of that was just because I enjoyed being on Instagram as well, though. You know what I mean? Like, it gave me reason to spend more time on the app. So like, it was good for everyone. But like, yeah, like I don't spend anywhere near as much time on it anymore, and it's nice. It's a lot nicer to not be glued to it constantly. You know, I have notifications turned on for an awful lot of photographers, because there's people who are just, you know, I really enjoy seeing their work, and I kind of,
that's nice.
Like Instagram, Instagram will be like, they might show it to you, they might not show it to you. You know, it's like it's almost like a guessing game at this stage if you're going to see it or not.
Yeah.
So I literally have, like, for my favorite photographers, I have notifications turned on. Yes, obviously you two lads are included in one of the first ones there. But it's once again, it's not for me to say, you know, I want to like your photo first or any of that kind of crack. It's just, I want to make sure I see it because I actually really admire your work, and
it's a good show.
I want to make sure that it's shown, because I know Instagram does not like to do these things anymore.
That's a good idea, Kev, because so many. The biggest complaint I hear about people say, like, I don't see your work, like, you know, I don't see the people I actually want to see. I don't see them on my feed, like, you know. So either you can unfollow everyone and just follow those people, or you can have notifications on for those photographers. That's a really good tip.
Yeah,
Really
and even
good
at that,
tip.
like, they come through. My phone's pretty much on silent 24/7 anyway.
Yeah.
So like they come just through, so you just see it and you click in and have a look and you go, lovely, you know. Rather than just mindlessly scrolling.
Yeah, I think probably part of the issue for me as well. I think I spoke about this in a mini pod a little before. Is that, like, I have this kind of, and I think I'll always have this negative kind of connotation associated with Instagram and my photography because of how much I put into it over the last. Are you taking a photograph?
Just taking a photograph for Instagram. How ironic!
Wow, the irony is not lost on me. Because of basically what I put into it over the last 5-6 years, and the sacrifices that I made to get to where I am now. And obviously hard work needs sacrifice, but you have to manage that properly, and I didn't manage it properly, so I lost certain things, and I made it. Do you know what I mean? I went full hard into it, and I think Instagram was a big part of that because I wanted to build such a presence on it and a reputation for myself, and I didn't manage that properly in terms of my personal life or anything. So that's why, and that's gone now. Like, just certain things are gone now that I don't have anymore. So that's for me why I've a negative connotation with it, I think, associated with it. Do you know what I mean?
And then you look at the stuff like,
so, do you know?
Yeah, of course.
Go on.
That was a hug. And then you look at the stuff that,
you were
like,
having a fit.
I was just giving him a hug. Like Mark Duffy posted.
I just spazzed out.
No, I was giving him a hug. Like, so obviously if you look at the likes of the stuff that, like, Mark Duffy posted up on his Instagram yesterday, which you've touched on before, Sean, like what was it, Tourism Ireland or Tourism Ireland, and their T's and C's, like,
they're all part of one branch,
like, it's shocking behaviour altogether.
In fairness, now they're not the only ones. Like, there's not just Tourism Ireland and Fáilte Ireland that are going through social media, and especially Instagram, trawling for free content. It happens the world over, and it's another problem created by social media. Is marketing companies, why would they pay royalty on stock photos when they can just go trawl through the socials, nick a couple of photos off an unsuspecting photographer? Or I've actually listened to a podcast and read an article before where they go through a certain hashtag for a certain thing, they find a photograph and they literally pay a professional photographer to recreate it.
Stop.
And then they haven't stolen the actual photo, they get a super high res paid for version of that composition. I'll find that article actually and I'll show it to you.
That'd be very interesting to read.
It was a girl who wanted to be a fashion photographer, and she had set up her friend sitting on a curb with, like, her shoes with the water running down the curb going towards the drain, and the shoes were waterproof or something like that. I can't remember the specifics, but some company like Crocs or one of them, it wasn't Crocs, but do you know what I mean? They went and recreated this exact photo with, like, their brand and a higher res camera and proper lighting equipment because the composition of that girl's photo was so good. So that's like,
disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah, that's intellectual property theft.
Yeah.
And that's being bred from Instagram as well. So it's not just actual photos being taken. It's like, it's the same with compositions being taken left, right and center. Like that's someone's intellectual property. That's an idea or concept they came up with, and it's just free. Take it off the gram, and we, as little drones and slaves to the algorithm, we're throwing it up there for them to do it.
Yeah,
we're
I would
feeding
say,
the
Ronan,
beast.
I would say your compositions are copied more than most people that I've seen.
I don't know.
Keith Walsh, but he doesn't do, and he'll probably be back in October. But like, no, your compositions are generally borrowed. I've seen, anytime you post a photo, I see that a few more times throughout the year, which is a very big compliment to you as a photographer, and your eye and your ability to nail a shot. But it must get annoying, does it? Like, that you've gone out and you've walked the land essentially. You've bloody put like hours of just strolling around places that no one's ever been to before. Get a shot, execute it, edit it, post it, and then you see it replicated a few times. Like, it's probably annoying.
Yeah,
is it?
sometimes scarily quick as well. Like there was a shot recently, and I won't say which shot, but 2 days later,
No way.
another very well-known photographer had gone out and had his version of it up, and I was like, okay.
Mad.
And I think I sent it into the group chat, and I was like I understand that people will borrow, as Kev says, a composition, and like creativity is fairly dead these days because of Instagram. But 2 days later,
That's mad.
I was
I've
like,
definitely
that's
stolen a
bizarre.
composition of yours. Just try.
Now, not all of them are mine. There's a lot of popular
course.
compositions that I would have stolen, like when I was early in my career. And then there's other shots that are like postcard shots that they're done a million times and nobody could claim credit for it. Like, but it's just that's not photography to me. Why would you go and look at someone else's photo and go out and recreate it pixel for pixel? What do you achieve in that other than likes on Instagram? You don't achieve any self-fulfillment. Like, you get that dopamine hit or that endorphin rush from getting likes and followers, but you don't actually learn, you don't grow. There's no self-fulfillment. And like, when I got sucked into the Instagram thing, it's detrimental to your mental health overall. So there's swings and roundabouts. You might have that endorphin hit now, but it's going to come back and smack you. There's no two ways about it. Like, you'll be left with nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you mentioned an interesting thing there, Ronan, about the composition. I think it's very fair that if someone goes and shoots a totally original composition, never before seen, and if another person goes and tries to shoot it, that they should just maybe give the person a mention, just say inspired by, or credit goes to, it's just nice that they acknowledge that. I think
it's a tip of the hat. You know what I mean? It's just it's a respect.
Just a bit of respect.
Like, I'd always do it if I like. Okay, not the Cove shot, because the Cove shot is a shot that literally there's probably 100,000 of that shot floating around the ether somewhere.
These are shots that I've never before.
Like if there was a
seen.
shot that I'd never seen before, and I was like, Jesus, that is class.
Yeah.
And I went out straight up, stole it. I was like, come here, listen, Sean or photos. Nice one. I stole your composition.
Yeah,
There's nothing you can do about it.
You could almost equate it to if someone wrote a song and someone came along and used the same melody or the same. Do you know what I mean? The same composition.
Yes,
like
it's people get
it's
lashed
fairly
out
similar.
for that.
Yeah, like
You know what I mean? Like,
it's kind of similar. You're replicating an artwork, or a form of art.
like, imagine if I drew the Mona Lisa but on the other way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'd like to see that.
Flipped it. Same.
Do you know who's one of the most original photographers in Ireland? It's Mark McGuire.
Mark McGuire's a beast, isn't he? Like,
he's
what a man.
so original.
But do you know what I think that is as well? It's because he just doesn't care about
the
game. Because it is a game.
That man will shoot at 12 o'clock, middle of the day, no bother, and he'll pull off a banger.
Yeah.
And he just won't care. And he'll say, I'm not getting up for sunrise somewhere. He mad. It's too early.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's such a refreshing photographer.
Yeah. He's gonna go ballistic.
He's gonna hate this.
He hates when we compliment him.
I texted him the last time we gave him a good plug. I was like, make sure and listen to this episode now for like 45 minutes onwards if you want. If you don't have time to listen. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. So but I'll timestamp this stuff. But he's probably the most refreshing photographer that I think come across ever in the landscape photography scene in Ireland.
And I genuinely think it's because he doesn't give a shit about
not a fiddler's
the Instagram game. Honestly, he's just like, he just loves it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can just tell the man just loves being out, and taking a photo is like a bonus.
He'll post at 11:14. He'll post that.
Who else is like that? Just Derek, photographer called Derek. What's his Instagram name? Anyone know?
Developing Light.
He posts at like 12:30 at night and all. Like, literally, you can tell he's just doing it for the love of Instagram. He's not abiding by any rules. He's just like, here, I'm going to upload 5 photos. It's 12:30. I know I don't care because I just want to post them because I had fun taking the shots.
Just using his Instagram as a gallery, like that's
I love it.
Show.
You know what I mean? Whereas me, for so long was, oh Jesus, it's 7:30 in the morning. I better throw together a photo to post. Oh look, it's 9 o'clock at night, or it's 5 to 9. Better get it ready. You know what I mean? Like literally
9 o'clock was my time, yeah. 9 o'clock.
Mad.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Madness.
Wow. I'll 100% hold my hand up and say I was addicted to Instagram.
Oh yeah.
No problem. I've said that before in the podcast. Like I used to get sour if I didn't have something to post.
Yeah.
So when I look back at it now, it's so embarrassing. It's actually ridiculous.
Sean,
like if one of my
not the only one, mate. You know what I mean?
Ties out of the pram, like ridiculous behavior. It's wild.
Yeah, it's mad. When you look back, like we kind of, the age we're at, we kind of grew up with like the original Instagram, and we grew through all the change in that now. And I've seen some younger people who, like, we can sit here and be like, oh, I was addicted to it, I was sucked into it, but they're being sucked into what it is now.
Yeah.
And what it is now is an entirely different beast. We kind of had the luxury of growing with it, but they're being thrown into like influencers, do this, brand deals, blah, content creation, and it could seriously impact a young person's mental health.
Yeah.
Like I know there's young people who message me, oh, how did you get so many followers? And I stopped caring about followers. I stopped caring about likes. I focused on learning photography, going out, enjoying myself, seeing new places, and not worrying about social media or followers. And they're like, oh, well, that hardly worked. It works.
Yeah, but like it's like
now.
I've had a fella message me. I think, you know, we've all had people message us. Even remember the dude who emailed the tripod recently, looking to get in touch with our friend Zach.
If he's listening, he'd never contact us again.
Yeah, please don't. Like he literally he wanted Zach's personal contact details to get in touch with Ed Sheeran to do like
he had a job for Ed Sheeran,
a project for school or some shit.
Yeah.
But like I admire his
that'd be nice. He was just
I know, like I admire his you know, what is it, like he's reaching for the stars and all that crack.
Yeah, he was just reaching out, like
I know,
you can't ask for people's personal details, obviously.
Yeah, like
he was just very naive there in that sense.
Yeah.
In fairness though, I understand the concept of being nice and all that, but not only did he text the tripod phone, he also emailed the tripod. And he texted my personal phone number that he hunted down on the internet. And I was very pleasant with him, and he kept pushing it. And I was very pleasant. And I signed everything off, Choice of Pod, or Choice of Potiphar.
Choice of Potiphar.
I was just having a joke and a laugh with it. But when he contacted me on my personal phone, demanding someone else's private contact details, and I've seen what he's capable of because he found mine, like you're on the hunt for one thing, and that's self-growth or whatever.
Yeah.
Like fair enough, all the best of you, but don't, like, that's my private phone number. Like,
class. I actually gave it to Ronan. No, joking, I didn't.
But the tripod phone number is like advertised on the internet, and that text came after my private phone number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's another level of like
gas.
But that's the world we're in now.
Yeah.
That's kind of it's a funny, poignant way to finish it. Like that's the world we live in now. It's all about that quest for glory.
Yeah.
Instead of enjoyment and having fun and all the other crack.
I hear you have a roundabout for us, Ronan, do you?
I actually don't, because it was going to be about how fat I am and I'm not motivated to start it. So. But that's exactly what the roundabout is about. Not having motivation. Lads, I've been going through hell, living nightmares, as you are both very much aware.
Yes, sir.
And while I'm trying to steer the ship and keep things on track, I'm finding it hard to find motivation. I'm in bad form most of the time. I won't pick up the camera by myself and go out and do something. I'm doing self-care as much as I can, but also struggling with that. So I thought to myself, how could I change that? What could I do to give myself another bit of motivation, a bit of a kick up the bum, if you will, and to get out, be more active, meet other like-minded people and do things. So I decided, you know what? In July, we're going to start the Tripod Operation Transformation, which is a complete rip-off of the RTE Operation Transformation. but they're still after us for the primetime music. So it doesn't matter. We're going to steal from them again.
Add to the lawsuit, yeah.
Like it's another, what would they say? Another string in their bow. But you're looking at us. Come at us, RTE.
Bring on tubs. Not you, Tuberty.
But yeah, I've lost a bit of weight, which you can probably tell by looking at me. But I want to lose more, but I want to have fun doing it, and I don't want to feel like it's a chore that the world has to stop for me to actually look after myself, because that's what it feels like a bit at the moment, coming out of a lockdown, things opening up, things can be very overwhelming. So I want to try and create like a big trampoline that will catch all of us fat fuckers coming out of lockdown and give us a safe space to do it together. So I'm thinking of like organising hikes and meetups and safely doing it the right way.
Yes, see, that's
Great,
cool,
yeah.
because we can obviously incorporate photography into that.
Yeah, so it's going to be like photography for fitness instead of Operation Transformation. Go
That's a
away,
much better
RTE.
name as well. Do you know what? Much better name.
Yeah, but we're
Great shout.
going to kick it off in July. And like we're pretty much in July now, aren't we? I don't even know.
Well,
what
it's
date
next
it is.
week.
Today is the 23rd of June. So.
Yeah. So yeah, in July, first week of July, I'm going to be posting up in our Facebook group. And I don't know if I'm brave enough to take my top off, and I don't know if anyone needs to see that, but I will be taking a photo like that for my own reference.
Yes.
And I would encourage everyone to do the same and to join me. And even if it's not till the end of August, if it's just till the end of July that you want to do it, then we'll just see what kind of progress we can make with our cameras. And like getting out, it's actually the perfect way to look at it. Instead of going out and hunting down locations for the likes and all that, we'll be heading out to look after ourselves, have the chats with other people, go on a nice lovely hike, maybe bring a spot of lunch with us or a gas burner and make some coffee out in the woods or something. Nothing better.
Nice.
I love coffee.
So-
I'm in. See, that's the thing as well. You know, when you go out to places that you've actually never been to with a camera, it's one of the most refreshing things in the world as well. If you're actually creative and not, you know, if someone just dropped you somewhere that you've never heard of or seen or been to, there's no doubt that you'd pull something out of the bag.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
dive in
Yeah.
and let
Yeah.
loose.
So that can be
100%.
gorgeous as well.
It's a great
so
shout, Ronan. Very.
photography.
So we have a Strava group. Like if you don't know that, the Tripod has a Strava group. So if you ever join the group and if you're logging your walks or your runs or everything, you know, it's not that active, but like everyone in the group is active, which is great. You can go on and see that everyone doing their activities and stuff. So join that Strava group if you want. Get in touch and I'll give you the code. I think there's a code to join it. But something just kind of occurred to me there, Ronan, when you were kind of talking about motivation as well. And do you know what? If someone's kind of feeling that, like I'm feeling totally like unmotivated to do anything, do something completely different than what you would usually do in terms of, it could be a hobby, it could be anything. Just do something to draw your focus to something completely new and refreshing. And what will happen is you'll either take that by the horns and go with it and really enjoy it, or you'll realise, okay, I don't really like this. I'm going to go back to my photography or whatever, and it'll make you kind of appreciate it a bit more. Do you know? Like, if you're talking about being unmotivated for photography, when that happens to me, I just don't think about photography. Like, I'm looking out here now, right? And literally, there's a blanket of cloud and the horizon is perfectly clear underneath it, and the sun is shining now. So if that stays, it's going to be an absolute whopper of a sunset. And I'm perfectly content. I'll probably get a beer and watch it.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not like,
That's
I'm not
gorgeous.
like, Jesus, I have to grab my camera now and run out and take a photograph of that. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm just not in that mind space at the moment, like, and I'm perfectly okay with that. And I know it'll come back, like, you know. So like,
That's quite nice.
so, you know, if you're unmotivated for photography, just don't think about photography.
Just
And
park
if
it.
it's meant to happen, it'll happen.
Yep.
Just park it.
Park
know
her
what I mean?
up. It'll always be there when you need it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was it? Fitness for photography, Ronan, or photography for fitness?
Fitness for photography doesn't make any sense, so we'll go with the other one.
Yeah, I like
Photography
that.
for fitness. I like it a lot.
That's a
And
nice.
we'll spell photography with an F.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we spell fitness
like
with a
that.
PH?
No, because that would be fatness, wouldn't it?
No.
Fitness.
PH.
It's a fatter version of fitness. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So you're slimming down photography.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a tagline.
Unreal.
So what is it? Photography for fitness? Slimming down photography.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Photos for fitness in
Yeah.
it.
4, obviously.
Yeah, we'll put a 4. I'll make a logo. Why not?
Yeah,
Let's
do
go
it.
nuts.
Do
Yeah.
it. Right, this is class. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see where this goes.
That's a nice positive because I feel like maybe just a small bit of a not a negative podcast, but a little bashing one. But they're gonna have to. That's a nice positive little spin on it there. No,
yeah.
I enjoyed venting. I'm not gonna lie. So
so did I. To be fair,
I had
nice,
an
you know,
awful
like-
lot going on, and I needed to get some of that negativity
You have
off
to.
my chest.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I mean,
have
look,
to
we have this forum, we have this space, and you know, it's nice. And I'm sure all of our lovely listeners are. A lot of them would feel the same. If you do,
100%.
let us know. You know, get in touch. Let us know that you agree, or if you disagree, also let us know. You know, like, I mean, we are the People's Podcast, as Ronan said at episode 1, and strangely enough, that has stayed true all the way through to the very end of episode 58. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been lovely. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next week, we will see you next Thursday. That was weird.
'Cause
Well
It's Thursday instead of Tuesday
It
now.
wasn't Tuesday.
Yeah, that's weird.
I would not have got that right. Well done, Kevin.
Booyakasha. Okay, see you later.
Bye bye.
Imagine Kev getting something right.
Let's talk photography.
And there you have it, folks. Another episode of The Tripod.
If you did enjoy the podcast, please consider leaving us a review on iTunes.
And you can always subscribe to the podcast. And if you want to listen to more episodes, head over to www.tripod.ie, where you can find us on our socials, which include Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Okay, Ronan, that's
you
enough.
can,
Yeah,
be
that's-
on Snapchat
that's
and
enough, Ronan.
TikTok. And okay, thanks.